If you're South Asian and trying to lose weight, you need to know about these measly crabs in a bucket to be able to be successful in a fat loss phase. During most people's fat loss phases, if you're a South Asian individual, you'll go through a period of time where you'll be losing weight and people will be asking you about it. Most people have good positive experiences, but there will be parts of your family, people that you know, will turn that into a negative thing, which then questions your motivation, it questions your discipline, am I doing things right? And it ends up making you question and concerned about even the fantastic things that you're doing. And therefore you just end up thinking, am I doing things right? You end up demotivated and end up losing your momentum when it comes to your fat loss phase. What we teach our South Asian clients in Autonomy to help them persevere over a fat loss phase and make those big lifestyle changes is about crabs in a bucket. Now bear with me on this one. So when crabs go into a bucket, they will always try and move around and get around and eat the food. And as soon as one of the crabs tries to leave the bucket, the other crabs will turn against that crab and pull them back down and rip them from shred to shred, which is like one person trying to escape, and if they can't all escape, they'll tear that person back down and bring them back to that baseline that they're a part of. And that's very similar to social constructs and psychology, not just in the South Asia community. I think it's just a lot more prevalent with people voicing their opinions, but in all psychological fundamentals. When you step away from the norm and the standards that other people are doing, you shine out. You do things a little bit different. People take notice, and it reminds them of their own failures and inability to get out the bucket, and they pull you back down. Not because they have ill intentions, but just naturally, psychologically, you're trying to be on the same level because that's where you're friends, you've got relationships, you're in family gatherings. Everyone wants to be on the same level, but as soon as someone intentionally raises the bar, you got teared down. The highest growing daffodil will always get cut down the first. Terrible analogy, but you get what I mean. So what we do with our clients is we have to specifically work with them to be okay with being the outlier. Be okay with person stepping above everybody else and working on them not getting teared down by other people's behaviors. If the behaviors of other people are not the ones that you want, you have to be comfortable of being different to everybody else, because you'll just get what everyone else wants. You'll get the type 2 diabetes, you'll get the pill culture, you'll get the big large belly, you'll have unhappiness in the way that you dress with your clothes. So to get to that other part where you're getting comfortable, you're motivated, your fitness is up, you're not on medication, you don't have any health concerns, and you look amazing, you have to step above the rest of the crabs and be prepared that they will try and pull you down. But when you persevere, you get out of the bucket, it's a new world. So it's really important that you take that logical step. No one can go on a journey through fitness where they're improving themselves and not have some sort of backlash by people that are around them that were friends with them or family with them when they were at the same level. It's the same as, seasons of friends. When you have friends at university, your commonalities are that you go to university together, you struggle and you're doing second year, you're doing third year, you're going out partying. But as soon as life evolves and you leave the bucket of university, you then get new friends and you get new habits and new things. And maybe a few of them stay because they rise too, but the majority of the time you're jumping from bucket to bucket to bucket to bucket over your lifetime with friends. And the only one that stays the course is obviously family, because you can't choose your family, they're chose for you. And they're the ones that maintain in your bucket throughout that process, and you'll still have to negate how they react to you and be okay that even though you can choose your friends, you can choose people around you, you can choose the work colleagues, you can navigate your social scenarios, it will be the family that see the rise of you out of that bucket the most. And they'll be the easiest ones to tear you down, or they'll raise their own standards. What we see in Autonomy is this wave. It comes with first, they start tearing you down and questioning you, being curious about it, saying whatever they think, you're ill, you've lost too much weight, you don't need to go on a diet. And then they go over this curve when you persevere, and they're the same people that they will ask you how you did what you did and that they want to do the same. It's very funny that you see people go in a wave of the way that they come across, and afterwards they're like, hey, how did you do that? I really want to do the same. It's like, that's interesting that you want to do the same. You were telling me the opposite fucking 10 weeks ago, So I thought you'd want to know about the crabs in a bucket mentality. It's not something you can avoid. And actually, if you try and avoid it, you end up being in a worse situation because their comments are going to come anyway. You need to be armed with the right strategy. And that's why when you go through that autonomy process, we give you the right skills, tools, strategies to tackle those comments and then come out the other side. Crabs in a bucket.